Hey, this is Mariam, and today we are going to figure out how to order the sides of this shape from least to greatest. So what we first have to do is find these missing angles. And we know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle equal 180. So we can do 80 plus 33 plus x equals 180. 80 plus 33 is 113 plus x equals 180. We subtract it from both sides to get rid of it. And we get x equals 180 minus 113 is 7. 17 minus 11 is 67. So we know that this is 67 degrees. And then we're going to do the same for the other side. So we're going to do 58 plus 62 plus x equals 180. 58 plus 62 is 120 plus x equals 180. We subtract 120 from both sides and we get x equals 60. So this is 60 degrees. Now we're going to erase this so we have room for our other work. Now the key to understanding this is that we're not going to treat this as one shape, but rather as two separate triangles. So this is a triangle. And this is a triangle. Okay. And the most important line that we're going to start with is this line right here in the middle line. And the reason for that is because it connects the two triangles. So it has a degree on this side and on this side. So whenever we're writing from the least to greatest, we're going to start with that line. So G, J, and we know that this line is going to be in the middle. So there's going to be two lines greater than it and two lines less than it. Now we can start with either side. I'm going to start with this triangle. So 62, first you see, is it greater than or is it less than the two other angles? And in this case, 62 is greater than 60 and 58. So we know that these two measures, or these two lines that correspond to the measures, are going to be on this side. The next thing we do is we figure out how to order them, because this is two lines besides the middle line that makes up this triangle. And the way we figure that out is we see which line corresponds to which angle. So this line corresponds to this angle corresponds to the opposite line, okay? And likewise, the other angle, 60 degrees, will correspond to its opposite line. So we can write it as GI, the line, over 60. Now we're going to compare it to JI over 58. Actually, let me write this in yellow so we can see what we're talking about. So that's going to be JI over 58. And we're going to compare it. So we know that 60 is greater than 58. So we know that JI is going to be the least. And then GI is going to come after that. And now we're going to do the same with the other side. So first we figure out which angles correspond to which sides. So we know that this 80 is going to correspond to the opposite side, which is HJ. We can write that here. So HJ over 80. We also know that this 67 is also going to correspond to the opposite side. So that GH is going to correspond to that 67. And we know that 80 is greater than 67. Something I also forgot to mention is that you want to double check that these two angles are greater than this one so that we know it's going to come on this side. Okay, I forgot to mention that earlier. But anyways, this is the same. So since we know that 80 is greater than 67, then the line that corresponds to 80 is also going to be greater than the line that corresponds to 67. So we know that HJ is going to be the greatest, and GH is going to be before that. And that is how we solved the question.